Hello and welcome to Sestra Tainment. I'm Lenora,
I'm D.
and we're coming to you today in regards to everything
Everything
entertainment. Yes, and so I am going to start first this week, and so based on that, I am going to start with Tyler Perry's new movie on Netflix called Joe's College Road Trip. So let's preface this by saying this to me didn't feel the same as most Tyler Perry movies. I don't know about you, but I felt as though this was one that I really, really enjoyed for the first time in a long time. He still had to degrade women, but it's just Perry. It's what he does. We just know it's going to happen where some woman is going to be beat or is going to be a hoe or is going to be on a pole or is going to be something. It is what it is. She's going to have something bad that's happening to her. But we only see that little bit for a teeny portion of we don't even really see anything bad happen. It's just you see a whorehouse. But anyway, I digress. I'm jumping ahead.
It's a brothel.
It's a brothel. Yes. So Joe, as you know, is Tyler Perry plays all of them. It's like I don't need to really go through the cast because it's mainly Tyler Perry playing himself as the son of Joe, and then he's playing Joe. And then his son is actually, I don't know what his son's name is. I didn't look up his name. I probably should have. So did you have that? Because I did not.
I don't have that. I'll look it up. Go ahead. Keep talking.
Okay, I'll just continue to talk. Yeah, thank you, Sestra. So, but he is a young man who Tyler Perry is realizing, look, I have been doing all this stuff to make sure that my son has a better road than I had in regards to his life. And based on that, I may have shielded him a little too much. Him and his YT friends are all talking about things that are not necessarily accurate. Like they don't understand why there needs to be historically Black colleges and universities. One of the kids didn't even know what HBCU stood for. They are just saying that, Dad, those things happened in the past. It's not what's going on today. I don't even know why we need all these things. And, him and his white friends, he's just like, hey, everything's kosher. Everything's good.
His name is BJ.
BJ, thank you. Oh yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah.
In the brothel.
Yeah.
So what ends up happening? But who's the actor that plays him? By the way, I forgot.
The name is Jermaine Harris.
Jermaine Harris. Okay. So he does a really good job playing Tyler Perry's son. And so for the most part, Brian's son. And so basically what it is it's all about Tyler Perry realizing, you know what? My son is super privileged. He's a Black privileged kid, and he needs to realize his roots. He needs to realize that he's got to, at least check out, ideally a historically Black college, but he wants to go to the school in Pasadena. He was going to ride with his friends and they were all going to go. And Tyler and Medea get this idea that no, have Joe take him. Where this idea came from is the most insane idea I've ever heard. I ain't never seen Joe without oxygen or without a cane.
Yeah.
You're going to have him drive all the way from wherever they are, Atlanta, I don't know where they are, all the way to California with this kid and think everything's going to be okay. Okay. But what they do on here that I think is really hilarious, though, is they warn you in the beginning that there is so much profanity in this. So if you think this is one of those Tyler Perry church kind of, stage plays, no. You will hear the N word. You will hear the F word. You will hear the MF word. You will hear the P word. You will hear the B word. You will hear every profane word that is under the sun.
Yeah.
I mean, did he miss anything? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
And
he hit every word.
He hit everyone. And they end up telling you at the very beginning. So it's almost like he says this many times. He says this many times. Like they give you like 200 and blah, blah, blah times or 75 times or whatever. Like this is what you're going to get if you're continuing to watch this, so we're giving you a fair warning. And I think that was really funny in a way that they did that, because I think Tyler needed to know, look, they're expecting Medea, church Medea with her gun, hallelujah, all of that stuff. Joe ain't that. Joe is not that. Joe is raw. Joe is a former pimp. Joe is in your face and does not care, which we all know some older people who are like that too. So, that made it kind of funny and endearing, because he's like, the poor boy was like, I'm supposed to go with grandpa? Like, he doesn't even like me. Like, every time I try to hug him, he's like, get off me, boy, or something like that. And then, of course, that's the first thing that happens is Joe's like, get off me, boy. Like, what are you talking about? So he's supposed to go on this road trip with his grandfather. And how Tyler Perry allowed this to happen, because he was like, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. Dad's not going to do anything to hurt him. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. And then he's like, oh my God, he's going to get hurt. He's going to, something bad.
He's going to die.
He's going to die.
He's going to kill him. He's going to kill him.
And they go through this whole montage of Tyler Perry's dad, Brian's dad, Joe, making him see certain things as a child that he really shouldn't have seen, experience things that he shouldn't have been a young child watching a woman give birth. And dad was like, get your face in there. All of these crazy things, but that's just the way in which Joe raised his son, being a pimp. I don't know how else to describe it. And so Tyler also knew that his son needed to toughen up a little bit, because he was so protected and so privileged, and for him to be out on his own, and for Tyler to feel like, if you're going all the way to California, and I keep saying Tyler, it's Brian, but he acts like himself as Brian. So that's why when, knowing that his son is going to go out and live on his own in a whole other state, I think he was just like, I need to make sure he has the right tools, and my dad is going to give him the fastest lesson for him to get these tools. And so they start on this road trip, and it was just hilarious. I think that all of the things that they experienced, you have brothels, you have bikers, you have, what else do we have? I'm trying to think of different things that
it was the I don't know, was the bike club there's rebel flags everywhere, and it wasn't like a racist bike club.
Oh yeah. And that's the thing. So the son is so unaware that he thinks, no, there's no racism really anymore. My friends are white. Everything's good. Everything's kosher. And so he goes in.
He doesn't see himself as he doesn't see the things that Black people go through, because all he knows is just being around white people, and the white people taking him in he's the token Black friend. But also there was some slight things that they were saying about his education, and they had to change some stuff up for him in order for him to win, because we needed to have diversity. It was like, no, your son is stupid. My son is amazing. Get out of my face with that.
Don't try to turn the script and say the only reason my son got certain academic or school honors and achievements was because he was Black and they fudged the numbers. No, he was worthy of it, kind of thing. But that was kind of how some of the parents thought of it, so that it made them feel better about their own children, kind of situation. But Brian, from everything I could tell and how he was on the show in the movie, super smart kid when it comes to book smarts. Street smarts, no, not at all. He had no clue about anything that was going on. Even in the brothel, he had no clue. He had no clue in regards to going into the location with the bikers, and he's just like, oh, can I use the bathroom? And he's just walking through, and they stop everything. Music stops, people stop, and he's just like, and then, and how that happened is, Joe's asleep. So that's how he even ended up there. Because you might be asking, well, how in the world would Joe allow him to go into some biker place? Well, he, old man sleep. And so anyway, so that's a whole scenario, a whole thing to catch and check out. You have a girl in the brothel and a whole scenario that happens with that. You have, it's about sex trafficking. It's a lot of interesting ebbs and flows and ups and downs, and Joe being upset and leaving him on the side of the road. And it's just, it goes down a lot of different paths, but I was there for it. I really enjoyed it. It didn't feel it was as long to watch as it was. Like it felt like a really easy watch and a quick watch. But the whole time I'm sitting there like Tyler Perry really just wanted to cuss this much, I guess. Like he did a Quentin Tarantino, like he didn't have to cuss this much, but he was choosing to put all this out there and have like a little subliminal, not even as subliminal, but some messages throughout as well to help people to put things together if you're paying really close attention to what's going on in the world today and picking up on that. So, but no, I thought it was really good. What did you think? Because I know you watched it too.
No, yeah, I thought it was really good. I like how they I think how they wanted to make it was that Madea was saying, look, your son's spoiled and he thinks he's white. So that man over there is the blackest thing that's going around. He was a pimp. He'd been through all the stuff. He knew the Black Panthers party and everything, saying all this stuff. It's like, you want to get him right in the middle. He's at one extreme and his grandfather's at another. So if he get them together, he will be all right if he meets in the middle. And,
hopefully.
Hopefully. But I mean, it ends up working out in his favor. Now, I do like how he made him take Polaroid pictures of everything.
Yeah, that was really good. Yeah.
That was really good, that whole storyline about that. But no, I do like how it was all set up. I thought it was a great movie. It was just funny. He was like, boy, just go stand over there and let me take this picture. He's just like, Grandpa, I don't want to do it. He's like, boy, get your tail over there. And he takes the picture. He's like, all right, come on, let's go. Get in the truck.
And then you find out significance later.
Yeah, but he's not explaining to him anything. He's just showing him places. But but I guess it was that Madea told him, make sure you show him, some good places.
Maybe he just wanted to go to certain places. I don't even know if Madea had gone to some of them places because everybody knew Joe wherever he showed up. So maybe it was Joe's place. maybe it was Joe's places. But I did like the significance of that and him just, it's almost like, because that's what sometimes older people do, right? Is that they don't necessarily open up. They don't express emotion. They don't express feelings. So especially older Black men. So therefore it's kind of like, I'm telling you to do it. You don't need to know the significance of it. I know the significance of it. Because if it wasn't for someone else telling him, he still wouldn't know the significance to this day. Joe just never.
That is very true.
Yeah, so that's the part that I just think, it is what it is. And like even when he opened up about how he feels about Brian and stuff, he's like, don't ever tell him I said this, but that's just how some people are. They're like, nah, we ain't gonna have that relationship. Like we're not gonna hug on me and stuff. Like
exactly.
But I love you, but
yeah.
But no, I liked it. I thought it was really good. Interestingly enough, I'm getting back from Atlanta. I have a little bit of a situation in regards to me drinking my tea and trying to get 100% healthy, and may sound a little different, may cough, apologies in advance, but I was on the subway train, the MARTA that they have down in Atlanta, and one of the stops they literally say is the Tyler Perry studio stop.
Oh, word. So, okay.
The MARTA and get I forgot which stop it was, but you get off of the MARTA and within like a 3-minute walk or something like that, you're at Tyler Perry Studios, which he purchased the military base in Atlanta and turned it into his studios, and he houses people there and has homes where people can live and wash clothes and cook and all that kind of stuff inside the houses. And a person that I knew from years and years and years ago before he moved out to California, he said that Tyler flew him out and had him to be in a production of something and kept him in one of those houses in Atlanta. And he was just taking us through what the house looked like. And he was like, I thought I would be in this house with like a roommate. Like, I just figured, a bunch of people here. He was like, I have this whole house to myself so I can walk to production and then turn around and walk back. And it's all of these, amenities here that I like. Everything is basically at my, doorstep. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. So I know I give Tyler Perry sometimes a hard time about how he treats Black women in his movies. I do think he's doing great work in regards to what he does for our stories often. This story was really funny. Could have dealt with less profanity, honestly, because at first I was like, oh, this is kind of comical. But then I was like, all right, dude, like, it wasn't necessary throughout, but I mean, I get it. And then I would say that, but I do appreciate that so many people say that he pays so well. And that I think is really important too. It's not someone who's trying to hoard and hoard and hoard, but is trying to do what they can to support others. I think is great. And another person I heard that about, and then I'm going to change the subject, is Country Wayne. So I don't know for people who look at Country Wayne and his skits and everything that he does on, I think it may only be Facebook. It might be Instagram too, but I only see it on Facebook. Mm-hmm. But the people who participate in that, I heard in Club Shay Shay, I heard Tiana Taylor's ex-husband. What's his name? I forgot. He was on the Shy.
I know you're talking about, I can't think of his name.
Tall guy, basketball player, whatever. So anyway, he was saying that the reason that he works so much with Country Wayne is because Country Wayne pays people really, really well. Like there are some people who are always on there and doing things, and they're making 7 figures. Like there are people who are making high 3, high 6 figures, and so therefore he's like, yeah, you go, you do your work. He tells you bring a few outfits. Like he's not, saying this is our production and we have these clothes for you. It's like, bring some outfits. This is kind of what the scene's going to be. Do your work. Oh, you got to leave early to pick up your kids. Fine. We'll get this done before that. Go. So he was just saying how, that's really appreciated. And I know some people are watching that like a soap opera. So I haven't watched it in a long time, like probably years. But so anyway, this is more so about the Tyler Perry part, but just wanted to throw that in that, giving people their flowers. Country Wayne, if you're, since he's paying his people like he should be, and people are loving working with him and doing what they need to do. Because sometimes when people get to those stages, they don't do that. They don't feel like they have to elevate and lift everybody around them too. So, but anyway, that's it. What you got, sis?
So what I want to talk about is the newest addition to the Game of Thrones anthology, whatever you want to call that. It's called A Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Yes, I totally forgot that it had started.
Yeah. This is a very lighthearted show. Like
lighthearted? Yeah. Like no murders, no killing, no blood.
I mean, there is, but it's about like how you have Renaissance Fair and you have the nights with the jousting and the tournaments with the stuff like that. It's kind of like a Knight's Tale type, it's like that. It's not
in the Game of Thrones genre, like I think it's so dark.
But so what it is that you're seeing the common folk and the knights. You're getting their point of view. It's like the people that are of I guess the people that are leaders or whatever, or
royalty.
The royalty, they are there. They're still their narcissistic selves. They still do dumb stuff for entertainment. But you don't really see a lot of that. You don't really see much of that.
Common folk, and they're just living their lives and enjoying themselves. And all right, gotcha.
So for the cast, you have Peter Clafley, who plays Sir Duncan the Tall, or Dunk
the Tall.
You also have Dexter Sol Anzel, who plays Egg, and I'll explain to you who all of those people are. You have Daniel Ings, who plays Sir Lionel. I don't even know what he is, but I think he's what is the ones with the antlers? That's Baratheon.
Baratheon. Yeah, they're like
he's
the ones. Okay.
Yeah. You have. I'll just go into another one who is pretty. Somebody that you really need to know. You have Finn Bennett, who is Prince Aerion. He's a Targaryen.
Okay.
So you have him on there. You also have Bertie Carvel, who plays Prince Baelor, who is a Targaryen. And then his brother, Sam Spruill, who plays Prince Maekar Targaryen. So those are mainly the main people that you were going to get in this season. It's only 6 episodes. So what it is it starts off with Dunk, or Sir Duncan the Tall, but it's Duncan. He's a squire to a traveling knight. Now, with the traveling knight, it's just an old guy, and all he does is, for him to make some money, he goes around. Oh, there's a war over here. Let me go. I'm closer to these people, so let me go over here and be like, hey, I'll fight with you. You know, you just feed me, house me, pay me. You know, I'll always be loyal to, you know, you and your people, whatever. So he does that, and just he's a traveling knight, or what they call a hedge knight, I guess that's what it would be. And they call him a hedge knight because they sleep in the hedges.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Because they don't have anywhere to sleep. So it's like, yeah, you get a tree, you got some, you know, some stuff that you put around you, and that's where you sleep. So, but this his master ends up passing away.
Okay.
And Dunk then you see him bury him, like they're having a conversation, and then all of a sudden dude's dead. He's like, okay, so now he, you know, he says all the things that he's supposed to say and does all the things he's supposed to do. Now he has the 3 horses that the master ended up originally having, and now he's walking, and he's like, he has a shield, he has all of his stuff. So now he's like, I gotta make some money, so I'm gonna go. And we were headed to this Knights Festival, Renaissance Fair type thing. He was like, so I'm gonna head there. He's like, I've learned all this stuff, and I know I'm really good. Why would I not go? So as he's going, there's one place that he stops at. And once he stops there, it's just like a little inn. And there's a young girl who's sitting on the steps. There's a lady who is, I guess she's the wench or whatever for the place. Like, I don't know if she owns it or what she does, but she's the maiden, I guess, of this place. Okay. So he comes in, and there's one guy who's passed out on the table, head down like this. And she's like, oh, don't even worry yourself about him, love. What can I get you? And he's just like, can I get a room? And I need an ale, blah, blah, blah. So she helps him with that. But the little kid outside, who is Egg, he's just like, he's standing out there, and Dunk tells the lady, oh, I got your boy putting my watching my horses in the stable. Okay. Like, oh, okay. And then she just kind of walks off. She gives him some stuff to eat and drink. And then, he's gone. Now, next day he's going to leave. And as he goes to leave, now the young kid Egg is still there. He was like, can I be your squire? And it's like, no, you're too puny. He was like, but I'm 10 and 1. I'm 10 and 1 years old. Like, I think he's 11 years old. He was like,
oh, okay, like, gotcha.
He's like, I can be your squire. Like, I'll just travel with you. And he's like, yeah, no, this is not for you. So Dunk ends up going to where this big Renaissance fair is. While he's there, he's seeing all the stuff. He's excited. He's like, this is going to be so amazing. And then reality starts to set in when he sees people actually beating the crap out of the people who, like, they're supposed to be sparring with their swords or whatever. Mm-hmm. No, he just beat him on the ground. Now that he's on the ground, he comes and kicks him in the face. And it's like, oh, and this is somebody who is training with you? Like, but he has fear. He talks to he has nobody to talk to, so he talks to the horse, and he's telling the horse, he's like, yeah, if we win this, blah, 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 blah. And then he's like, I said if, like, looking at the horse, like, I didn't say we were going to win it, but I said if. Right. It's cute when it comes to that. Then what happens? Egg pops up. Why does Egg pop up? Because Egg is everywhere. He was like, I hopped on a lamb's cart, came out here, figured you were out here since you're a hedge knight. You're going to be in the woods away from everybody because you don't have anywhere to stay. So he's like, okay, boy, this is what you want to do, then I will make you my squire. And he starts to teach him things, but the boy has so much knowledge. The boy's like, yeah, no, that's not how this works. No, that's not the right thing. Well, I heard that this. So it's like, well, how does this boy know all of this stuff? Like, how does he know this stuff? He's only 11 years old. Now, they get so close, and it's so cute because So Dunk is supposed to be like the tall, dumb jock. And then you got
Okay.
little Egg, who is like comes up to his hip. That's how tall Egg is to him. Comes up to his hip, who's like a little Yoda, who knows everything. So I
Yeah.
love how they have that. So at one point they're walking, and Egg's like, hey, wait, like I like don't walk too fast. I got little legs. And he's just like, well, you better keep up. And then when they go in there watching the jousting, he's like, pick me up. And he actually picks him up and puts him like on his shoulder so the kid can see, because Dunk is so tall that he's like towering over people. And now Egg is
Yeah.
up there. He's like right in the front. So people are like behind him, like trying to see.
Can't
But
see anything. Right.
yeah. But I mean, it's cute, the dynamic that them two have towards each other. But there are some things that end up happening where there is going to have to be, of course, some kind of big battle type thing. And that's that whole thing of how that happens is when it all starts to get dark. Before that's very lighthearted. It's basically getting to know Dunk and this little kid Egg. They're from two totally different parts of the world, and then seeing how they come together, and now the squire has become the master, and now he has a squire, and how everything works, how it was hard for Dunk to end up being able to get into the contest because he didn't have anybody who could vouch for him, because nobody knew the hedge knight that he was up underneath. It's like, oh yeah, the guy, like, you don't remember him? Like, he came and fought, like, we were here. And they was just like, they're all drunk and they're just like, I don't know what you're talking about. Boy, get away from me.
Right.
So, but it ends up working out for him, and it gets gory. It gets gory. But it's
Okay.
it is good. It's like if you're reading a novel and then all of a sudden it would be like 3 pages that has like a little side story.
Okay.
So just imagine that Game of Thrones is this big novel like War and Peace, but then you get like a little side story of like, something. This is like a little side story. And
do they tell prequel or post? What do they say?
It is 90 years before Game of Thrones, but after House of Dragons. So it's in the middle.
So where's the Mad King and all of that?
The Mad King is on Game of Thrones. So that's 90 years from then, from the night.
Right, but I'm just like, so it's in the middle, but I'm like, so the Mad King was after that?
Yeah. Everything what happened with Game of Thrones.
Like Jamie killed the Mad King, so therefore it has to be after
that. So that's Jamie all later on. Yeah, so that's all later on. Like you're at I think it was like Aegon Targaryen the 4th was the last like big ruler.
Oh my
gosh,
then, it's so much.
It's just so much. But yeah, it's still with the Targaryens. You're still following the Targaryens the entire time. But you would have never thought that the Targaryens were the main subject of, what's his name? R.R. Martin. You would have never thought that the Targaryens, is that his name? R.R. Martin? The writer?
R.R. Martin, yeah.
But you would have never thought, watching Game of Thrones, that the Targaryens were the ones that you're following for everything else. Because even when you go into House of Dragons, the Targaryens are the main ones that you're following. Now, in this one, the Targaryens are also in this one because they are always the top like people because they have the dragons.
Yeah. Yes.
So yeah. So, but you don't get to know anybody else. You get the Targaryens as the leaders. You get Egg and Dunk. And you got a couple of other people who come and help fight. Other than that, that's what I said. It's like a snippet. It's like if you're watching a show and then all of a sudden it goes off into some other tangent and then comes right back.
Okay.
That's basically how it is.
How they did it.
I think it's good. It's 6 episodes. They're not super long. I think they might be like maybe 30, 40 minutes a piece. But the storyline just for him, just like to be able to have this whole big series of this, fantasy world, and now you're getting to know each person, like different people individually. So like I do like that. So like this could definitely be a thing where you're getting to know each little individual person and like their little story, as long as later on it's like a whole Marvel universe thing where they all come and fight as Avengers or something. Yeah.
Well, and that's different too, because with Game of Thrones, there were 45,000 people you had to keep track of. With this, it's like they're not writing it like that. This is like here's your small cast. This is all you need to remember, which for some enthusiasts might work. And for some enthusiasts, they might be like, this is boring. This isn't the Game of Thrones.
You get that it's boring starting off. It's like, I don't know. But then it's like, I've seen some stuff online that makes me like, well, keep wanting to watch. It's like, okay, this is what somebody said, but I want to see this part. And like, so
I got
something that still kind of keeps you. But I mean, like, you could watch it all in one sitting and it wouldn't. It just is like a nice little snippet of a story.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
All righty.
Check it out. A Night of the Seven Kingdoms on HBO.
Got it. All righty. Excellent.
Up next,
I am going to talk about Paradise season 2.
Oh, okay.
So excited that this is back. Like, I have been waiting with bated breath and anticipation and praying that it, because I loved Paradise. I don't know how many people are watching it. I think everybody should watch it. Did you watch it? You're yawning. Am I boring you?
Sorry, no, I'm just tired. Paradise, I don't think that I actually watched it.
Oh, the one with Sterling K. Brown.
It was on my list to watch, but I don't think I actually watched it.
All right. So for those of you who watched the last season, I can't even talk about it because it's just spoilers all throughout. But I will just say this, because I talked about the first season. You leave off with a cliffhanger. You leave off with someone getting shot. You leave off with something that you thought the whole show was true, and maybe it's not true. And all these different little nuances, right? New season comes back, and I'm anticipating seeing Sterling K. Brown.
Yeah.
That's just what I'm anticipating. Like, what happened with him? What's going on? What's taking place? No. The very first episode of the second season does not include Sterling K. Brown. Instead, it has, oh shoot, what's her name? Hold on. I know her face. I can't even think of what her name is, and they're not even showing her. What's the one that Kylene, what's her name? The one that was in like the Notebook thing with not the Notebook. I can't even find her name on here for the cast, which is weird because I think they're trying to go through everybody that was in. Shailene Woodford, what's her name? You know, with the short hair, she was in.
Shailene Woodley. Or something like that.
Yes, is that her name? Where she was in the one with the little eyes and all of that.
Yeah, I think that's her name.
I looked up the cast, and I put season 2, and they're not showing anything. So
I'm gonna look at it. Go ahead.
Anyway, she's in it, but there it is, Shailene Woodley, yes, as Annie. So she is in it, and so I'm watching it, and I'm just like, wait a minute, hold on a second, because what happens is I'll give a little story. So it is about a young girl who, when she's young, she's on the school trip going to see the Elvis Mansion in Graceland. And so as she's going to see that, blah, 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 she comes home. And I guess it's one of those, sometimes you live in a state where the school trips always take you to the same place over and over again. And so her mom's asking her, she's smoking a cigarette. She's not healthy. She needs medicine, the whole 9 yards. She's probably not supposed to be smoking. And the daughter is like, Mom, here's your stuff, whatever. And she's like, how was the trip? How was the, going to the Graceland? Anything changed? And she was like, well, this time they made a stupid joke, about, oh, did you hear about the time that the group of Elvis impersonators got into an accident coming to Graceland? And they were like, no, everybody's not. I didn't hear about that. He said, yeah. The word is that they got all shook up. And everybody's like, oh. So she was like, that's the only thing that changed, was that he changed his joke, right?
Yeah.
So
Changes.
anyway, what ends up happening, right? So the girl is like, all right, mom, you got everything you need. I'm going to run out. I'll be right back. So the girl does something. She comes back. Her mom's no longer here. Her mom passed away while she was gone. Mm-hmm. So you now have it jump to where she's an older person. She's in medical school. She's trying to go through and do all the things for medical school, but she occasionally has these flashes of things with her mom that makes her freeze up and not give the right answers. Like if she's not on the spot, she can give the right answer for somebody else. But if she's on the spot, she's like freezes up, she almost passed out, like all this stuff. So she's sitting in a parking lot. She's like crying, and someone walks up. And I was like, is that who I think that is? And it was that chick, Angel.
Hey, Angel. Yeah.
Paradise. So I was like, wait a minute. So her and what's her name? Shailene Woodley?
Yeah, Shailene Woodley.
They are the entire first episode. Just the two of them, their camaraderie, their interaction, their engagement, like everything about the episode is the two of them. And so because she's basically like just distraught, because she's like, I'm not fulfilling my purpose. I'm not living the life I should be living. I, quit medical school. Like I'm just a puddle here at Grace. And so, and she was security. So she walked up to the car like, child, you got to get out of here. Like, I'm so sorry, but you can't, crying here. And so long story short, she offers her a job to be a tour guide. And this is all like the first, I don't even know, 10 minutes. She offers her a job to be the tour guide at Graceland because she had been there so many times before. And that same old man was still giving the tours. And he's like, sometimes he'd get there, sometimes he wouldn't, his health, all that stuff. So she was like, we need a new tour guide anyway. If you're not doing anything, I don't know, maybe medical school to tour guide of Elvis is the state.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Know everything. So she starts telling that same corny joke and all that stuff. She knows everything from top to bottom. So then if you watched Paradise, from the first season, the whole premise of Paradise is that the world is coming to an end. Like they're setting up things so that way, if there is a nuclear situation, whether it's a war, whether it's a reactor that does something, but if there's anything that happens where the plumes of smoke happen and the sun is blocked out for, ever, and all these things happen and nuclear strikes and wars and all of that the uber wealthy have a place to go. That's what basically, that's what
every movie that the world's ending, there's a bunker, of course.
Yes. So based on that, I know we talked about Billionaire Bunker, right?
Yeah.
So, and there probably is one. There probably is one. That's why all these people who are in the know are the ones who are trying to play in our faces and tell us about them without us thinking that it's a real thing, but it's probably a real thing. So anyway, what ends up happening is that they're together when everything goes awry, and they're just at Graceland, and they're like trying to grab, and they were doing a tour, so then they leave all the tour people like to get on the bus and go wherever they were going, which probably didn't bode well, but they were going inside. They were trying to lock stuff, go into a basement, trying to get food, get utensils, get things from the side shack and pantry and everything that's not perishable, because they knew that if this was a nuclear event, it could be years before they could come even outside. It could be years before they could even be able to see the sun again, and you're in Graceland. So do you want to draw attention? Like, can you start fires? Can you light candles? Can you do things? Because it's Graceland and people might be drawn to that, So anyway, that is the whole, just information about that is the whole first episode. So no Sterling K. Brown. He was in every episode of the first season, but not in the second. But it really went down this, and it's still, they only released 3 episodes. So it started going down this path of like her seeing Sterling K. Brown, Sterling K. Brown's experience with him, I'm trying to figure out how to explain this, but with him going on the adventure, let's just call it that, of where he left off from the second season. So him going on that adventure and all the things that he experiences, he gets hurt, he runs into some children. At some point, some people show up at Graceland. How does she handle that? So there's all these different nuances and things that take place, and I'm here for it. I'm loving it. I don't think it'll be a long enough season for me, because when I say I binged those 3 episodes, I was trying to go back. I was like, well, there's probably only going to be 8, so let me just slow it down. Let me not watch all 3, and I couldn't help it. So, and they release them because it's on Hulu, so they release them every week after the first 3. So, yeah, kind of like The Beauty and anything American.
How long are the episodes? Like an hour?
They are about 45 minutes or so. Yeah, not quite a full. I guess some could go into 50 something minutes, but let me see. But I wouldn't say a full hour. Yeah. So, but I am really enjoying it. The first season was really great. So far, the second season, I'm really enjoying. Yeah, this one, I'm looking at the first episode. It says 47. Is it 47 minutes? Oh, no, it was an hour. But they do like those kind of commercials and stuff like that at the beginning. You can fast forward through and everything. So, but yeah, but I'm enjoying it. So Paradise on Hulu.
Hulu.
Yeah. All right. What you got next, sis?
So what I have is what I thought I was not even going to watch. I never thought I was going to watch it. I was like, this is a fake ER. How dare Noah Wiley think that he's going to come and try to seduce me with another emergency room TV show? How dare you? And he did.
How dare you?
Yes, Dr. Robbie. I'm with it. So what I want to talk about is the Pitt. It is It is ER on steroids, literally. But it is not like how ER was. You saw a lot more of the hospital. No, with the Pitt, you are literally just seeing the emergency room area. You have the nurses station all in the middle. You have all of the rooms on the sides. And like you have like the trauma area where it's like they have the glass doors where it's like, we need somebody who we got to send them up to ICU or we got to intubate them or whatever. You have that. You got the ambulance area, but that's it. You don't see anything else of the hospital. Well, you see the waiting room and that's it. But it's like you only see that, like the whole set is literally like if you were to walk into like a newer age hospital and the nurses station and all the rooms around it, that is all. So I'm like, okay, all right, let's see. I'm with it. Now, one thing that I noticed was they have one nurse who is like the head nurse, and she's been there for forever, and she tells it like it is, but she's very nice, but then she's also very real. So she's just like, okay, yeah, you think that's amazing, huh? Yeah, well, let me show you something over here. Get these maggots out of that guy's arm. Like she's just real. Like I could see this woman being like an actual nurse in Pittsburgh. But so it is a hospital that is in it's in Pittsburgh, a lower, I would say mid to lower class housing all around it. The emergency room is, oh my God, the emergency room is always packed. There's always something going on. And they are behind like a glass, like when you come in for your to put in your information. It is like a big glass window where you might have 2 or 3 people sitting up there giving you paperwork, telling you what to sign in. Here, take this and have a seat, and then we'll call you. And they'll be like, man, I've been here for 4 hours. It's like, and we are extremely busy. So you see how many people are here and how many people were here before you. So therefore, you're just going to have to wait. But it is like they had they had a episode, and I don't know if Grey's Anatomy or anything has done anything like this, but they had an active shooter episode.
Oh, wow. Inside the hospital?
It was not inside the hospital, but it was what the hospital had to do to be prepared for an active shooter.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And
Gotcha.
man, the way that they all came together, it makes you see how these doctors and nurses all come together. It was like, well, I was supposed to be off today. I got off about 4 hours ago, thought I was going to be able to sleep, but look at me. I'm back here. So let's get into it. So it's very much it doesn't matter how tired you are. Like your adrenaline is pumping and you are going, but you will crash.
Yeah.
Getting the you see that you're getting the students, the student, what are they called?
Residents.
Yeah, is it the resident? Is that what they are?
Yeah,
Whatever.
usually the students, the interns, the residents, they're the ones who are
Yeah.
learning because it's a learning school, the residents, yeah.
Yeah, so they are in there and you get to like you're following them around. Now, Noah Wiley's character, Dr. Robbie, because he is the head of the ER, well, he's the head doctor over the ER. You follow him, but then you're not also just following him. He'll pop up and say something and just be like, okay, give me your information, blah, 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 blah. And then he'll walk off. And now you're still in the room with the students who are learning while there is a doctor who's come from upstairs down because they heard that somebody got med flighted in and they're coming to the emergency room to check and see what they can do, make sure they get the person stable to go ahead and take them upstairs to do whatever. Like, well, we got to get them into surgery. All right, thanks for setting everything up for me, guys. All right, I'll take it from here. So it's like that. It shows how they work together. Like there's one doctor who comes and he's super corny, but he tries to make light of his job. So what he does is he tries to make dad jokes about everything. And people are just like, haha, that's funny. But then there's one of the doctors who is so she could be like a little bit on the spectrum, and she's just like, I don't understand that. Like, why? So now then it's like she turns into, now I have to think like this man right here in front of me. So when he asks the question, then she says the answer and says why that's the answer. He was like, you're trying to take my chokes away from me, and walks out. She's like, all right, I'm excited about myself because I just was like in with this guy. It just made her feel like an outsider. Also, the active shooter episode, very, very hard to watch. They were literally, the way that they set up everything was, if I'm at the computer at the nurse's station, there are like right on the other side of this nurse's station is going to be, I don't know how many beds, maybe 6 beds right here in front of me. Because we're going to have to put 3 people in this room to work on them. We got everybody's just around and out in the hallway. There's blood on the floor everywhere. People are walking, like the nurses and doctors are walking about to slip and fall. It was like, if you hurt yourself, we don't care because you still have to do your job. You can be hurt later, like that kind of thing. And the way that they just all stepped in and did it, they had a way of doing slap bands for different color slap bands mean different things. So it was okay, this, and like they're all standing around like, hey, all right, we have maybe 200 people coming in. We don't know for sure. This color means that they're, we have to get them like blood and like they're going to have to need surgery or something like that. And then it's like, this color means this color means this. And then it was like, this one right here means there's nothing that we can do for them. They died on the way here. And then we have in the like a pediatric area where we're just going ahead and storing the bodies. We don't have time to be able to do anything for them. So now we're just going to have a room that's just going to have a whole bunch of bodies from people who have died from this active shooter thing. Man, it was crazy, but how they just told them and everybody understood, and the people who didn't understand, Like the doctor was telling him, Dr. Robbie was telling him, like, okay, so we got this, blah, blah, blah. And they see somebody whose face is kind of like, he's like, say it back to me. So then the guy starts saying it back to him. So then make sure that he understands, because one slip up is going to be because the hospital too. Yeah, exactly. But also because this hospital is in the poor side of town. They don't have any money coming in for them to be able to have the proper resources. They ran out of blood. And what do you do when you run out of blood?
You start asking people in the hospital to get blood.
All of the nurses and doctors were like, all right, I got this person. They're good. I'm going to go in here, give some blood really quick, and then I'll be right back out. And then I'm blah, blah, blah. Yes. So what happens? The lady who is over top of the hospital comes down and she's like, wait, what does she have tied to her leg? And like, there's a doctor who's working on a patient while actively giving blood, and the IV going down her leg. So, and then that way it can be into a bag that's on her leg. But she was like, I can't stop because this person is going to die if I go and sit down. Yeah, it's like if I go and sit down, we have 25 other people that are coming in. We don't have any space, and we got to get these people to where they need to go. So just all of that. And that lady was like, so you didn't test the blood to make sure that everything was good? He was like, so you didn't give me enough blood for an active shooter thing? She was like, well, we don't have the funds. He said, well, we didn't have the blood.
Right.
Now we do. And it's done. Yeah.
But that's true, because then do you get sued because somebody is like, oh, your blood had blah, blah, blah. Now I got this. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Exactly.
But you got to do what you got to do to save people.
Absolutely. A lot of stuff is good. And now it's on the second season. Everything that I've seen is good, is good about the show. As not anything. There's a doctor who has a drug problem. There is a nurse who's like, I gotta retire. This is too much. She gets punched in the face. Why does she get punched in the face? Because the guy in the waiting room is sitting down waiting too long, decides to punch her in the face.
Oh my gosh.
If she's outside smoking a cigarette, he was like, oh yeah, y'all are busy, huh? Punches her in the face. Now, yeah, she's on the ground. She can barely see. She's all blood.
Got arrested.
Yeah, but then they had to find that guy. But then why couldn't they find that guy? Because there was an active shooter. So that's all the active shooter episode. It's just so much that happens in that show, but you keep seeing the same people. So it's like this one guy who keeps popping up. It's like, hey man, hey, what do you do here? Hey doc, look man, I'm gonna need a CT scan. I'm gonna need this. I'm gonna need that. I got this going down in what feels like it could be maybe my appendix or something like that. So it's like you see the people who are constantly coming. You see how when a homeless person comes in, that some of the nurses are like, oh my God, they stink. I don't want to be around them. But then you have the nurses that are like, these are actually people. Like they just fell in some hard times. So treat them as such. Go get them a sandwich. Let's get them a shower. There's a shower out back. Go and let them, take a shower. Here's some soap. Here's some clothes. Get them a robe, So I do like how they have all of that set up. I think it is good. I think it's really, really good show. So if you have a chance to watch that is The Pitt, and that is also on HBO.
Okay, got it. All right, excellent. Well, I'm trying to decide. I will go ahead and talk about this, but it's probably much bigger than the time that we have left of the 6 minutes or so that we have left to talk about it. But Reality Check, America's Next Top Model.
We can't talk about it. Let's talk about something else, because I've got some things to say. You have to wait for next week for that. I've got some things to say.
Teaser. I have some rest in peace. But what do you have?
I just had a hot topic about the T.I. 50 Cent beef.
Oh yeah, I need to know about that. But I'd like that new T.I. song.
Oh yeah. No, T.I. is coming out like strong.
I'm like, I heard the beat before I heard his voice, and I was like, oh, whoever this young artist is that has this beat is taking it back. Like, this sounds great. And then I heard the voice, and I was like, is that T.I.? And I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I'm gonna have to make some content with it because it is so good. And everybody, like a Gen Xer and up, is like, that's my jam. Like it is so, so good. But anyway, you want to talk
He's
about
dropped
that
two
first?
songs. I think he's dropped two.
I've
No, he's dropped
only
two or
heard
three
the
songs.
Let them know
Oh
one.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what I know. Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, that one is like, I just feel like I'm gonna be this summer, like, hand on the
Oh
wheel.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And
Sunroof
I don't
open.
even do that. I
You
don't
gotta get
even
your
do
hat,
that.
put it like right here. Take your hat and stick it right there.
Oh my God.
But no,
All right.
so
So yeah, go ahead.
T.I. 50 Cent beef. What it is that how it started off was T.I. 50 Cent. We're talking. This was 2020. T.I. was like, "Hey man, look, I want to do verses. Me and you could do it." So the whole thing was behind the scenes. 50 was like, "Yeah, we can go ahead and do it, blah, blah, blah." So then T.I. comes out and is like, "Yeah, we're about to do verses. Me and 50 Cent gonna go up against each other." And then 50 was like, "I don't know what he's talking about.
Oh
I never
my
said that."
gosh. 50 is so
But he-
petty.
but it though this gets bad. So 50 ends up, it's like some words were exchanged back and forth, and then recently um Ti was on a podcast. I think it was $1 million or something, like Wallow and Gilly. So he's on that, and they was like, "Hey man, whatever happened with the whole doing the verses thing?" He was like, "Well, this is what happened. We talked about it behind scenes. He said he was down for it. When I came out and said I want to do it, he act like we ain't know nothing about that. He said, I don't like nobody who don't have no integrity. He said, I don't even want to share a stage with that man no more." 50 got mad and then started talking about Tiny and how Tiny looks botched up and jacked up, taking pictures of
Yeah.
her and putting her out there. Talking about T.I. being a snitch. But like took a picture from he actually took a picture that was from T.I. holding a piece of paper in court while he's on the stand and posted it and like it's going off. Now, with this being said, T.I. now it's kind of like it's like a 50, I mean not 50 Cent. It's like a Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef.
Okay.
But the Kendrick Lamar side is actually all of the Harris family, and I'll tell you why. Because now you got T.I., you got his son, the crazy one, King, who was like, "Yeah, boy, like you want to talk about my mama? How about you go dig your mama up? Huh? You want to talk about mamas? Where your mom at? Go dig her up." And then
Yeah, I
just
saw King had a picture of his mom and said, "Is this your mom or your dad?" Or
yeah,
something
yeah,
like that. Like, I
yeah,
guess
yeah,
because of the picture that
yeah.
he posted of his mom. And I was just like, what am I looking at? So it was a picture of Tiny that has been
Yeah,
circulating. And then there was that picture of his mom. And I was like,
yeah.
what is happening? So that was the only thing I've seen about this beef.
Oh, okay, yeah, no. So, but it gets 50 is going in on Tiny so much and stuff like that because basically he was going at Ti and then was
But
like,
why
"Yeah,
are
that's
you
why your
going
wife
at Tiny?
looks."
Tiny ain't got
Because like,
nothing to do. You a grown man. You should be going after, if you're going to have beef, go after the grown man.
because he wants to hit him below the belt, so he's like, "Yeah, that's why your wife looks like blah 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 blah," because he know that Ti don't play about Tiny.
Yeah,
So
I know. But the point of
how
the
can I
matter
egg
is,
you on? Oh yeah, it's like
but
how
that,
can I egg you on, and that's what happens now. Tina Knowles actually comes online and says, like, she's rebuttaling what 50 Cent saying. She was like, Tiny, you were beautiful, blah, 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 blah. Now 50 Cent got something to say about Tina. So I know the
oh,
beehive is swarming because you're going to say something about Mama Tina.
Beyonce
I don't know
mom.
what's happening with that. I haven't looked into any more of that, but I just know 50 said some words and I don't know what's going to happen. Now,
I
the
guess she thought she
main
was safe.
thing, huh?
Did she think she was safe?
Oh, I don't know if she thought she was
You
safe. I
know,
think she was just trying to come to the defense of Tiny and be like, "Don't listen to people. You
yeah,
are
better be
beautiful,"
late.
and things like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Now, this is what happened recently. Now, T.I.'s son, Damani,
yeah. Okay.
he's a rapper.
Damani.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is a rapper, and he is a very good rapper. Now,
Okay.
he raps kind of like J. Cole. But he made a song called I think it's called like Meet the Jackson, or I'm sorry, it was like I'm sorry, Miss Jackson, or Miss Jackson, or something like that. And he rips 50 Cent a whole new one. And the way that he does it is the most respectful disrespect I've ever seen in my life.
I'm gonna have to listen to that.
Oh my God. When I say it's the most disrespectful, I mean most respectful disrespect, he's like, hey bro, look, I don't wanna. They said, look, you keep talking about mamas. He was like, but I don't want to do this because I know you don't have a mama. And I see that, you know what, because you didn't grow up with your parents, that could be the reason why, like he's therapizing him. That could be the reason why you don't see family. Yeah, that's why you don't see families as something big, because you didn't have both of your parents. Like your mother was this, your father was that. So I get that. Okay. He was like, but then like, what is it that you're doing? You're making money off of just the things that the Black community is going off of. Like, what are you thinking by doing that? And he was like, but if you want to keep testing me and you want to talk about mamas, I can let you go see yours. What? Yes. So I'm like, okay, all right, Damani, you win. Your daddy is very good at rapping, but you are a lyricist. You just wrote a whole disrespectful poem. And it starts off with, hey, Miss Jackson, I'm sorry to have to come to you like this, but you see how your son is carrying your family name. Like, I know that you're not here, but do you whisper in his ear and like try to give him some stuff? Like, are you his guardian angel? Like, what are you doing to help him? Because he keeps talking about my family, and I don't think he understands that I will make sure that you can see him and you can have this conversation with him and put him in his place. And that place will be with you in heaven or hell or wherever you are. Like, just listening to it. And then he calls 50 Cent Firebug. And he calls 50 Cent Firebug. I had to figure out why he had to do that. It was because 50 lit his baby mama house on fire with a Molotov cocktail? Yeah. While his baby mama and his son were in the house.
Okay. That's insane.
So there's like, so you really just have no respect for any mother. Not your mother, not your kid's mother. Just no.
Not Tia's wife of children, not any mother. Wow.
Not the Queen Beyonce's mother.
Right. And the way he therapized, I don't even know what the word is, but the way that he went to therapy with him, maybe that is true. Maybe, I mean, I'm a psychology major. I mean, it hits. It hits.
Right, I need everybody to go listen to that.
Yeah, if people don't have that type of mother connection, sometimes what it is that they're just like, oh, so this happened with your aunt? Like, it doesn't even matter because I didn't have that connection, so I'm not familiar with what that feels like, and that's tough. So, ooh, geez, I had no idea.
It's like, look, you had problems with my dad, you should have left it there. But now you want to bring my mama into it, and it's like,
I got to bring your mom into it.
Yeah, but it's like,
and now if you bring us as sons into it, now we got to bring your son into it, and you and your son don't even talk. Yeah, look how close we are, and you and your son don't even communicate. So there's going to be that.
Like the next step is going to be like King being like on Instagram being like, yeah, I'm out here with 50 Cent, son, say he don't get nothing about him. Like I can see something like that.
Yeah, you're probably right. And does he only have a son, or does he have other kids too? I can't.
I don't know much about 50 Cent, but that was also a thing that Damani talks about. Damani reads this man like a whole book. I'm trying to say, listen to the song. I think it's called Miss Jackson, and he sampled "Sorry, Miss Jackson" from Outkast.
Yeah. And they gave it up because it's Atlanta.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's like, bro, this is my brother T.I. Like, this is my uncle Big Boy over here who went ahead and let me get this sample. So you better watch out. Watch out. 50 is just a petty person, and it's like if it ain't about him putting somebody down to make him feel like he's big, then he is not part of it. He just don't care. He's like,
He is always, been that. So it's like if it's not, if it's not about him, then he's going to.
Yeah.
And he tries to act like the Diddy thing is too about, justice and all of that. And hey, I'm glad that he got the story out, but you can't get the story out about other people if you also have dirt. I mean, you can, but you won't do it without consequences. Maybe that's a better way of saying it. You can get the story out about somebody else, but it doesn't mean it doesn't come with consequences of people trying to get stuff out about you. And
exactly. It's like own your own stuff.
Necessary.
Yeah, he should just own. If you can put out, like, if you wanted to do documentaries about people's dirty laundry, if your laundry has to be flapping in the air in order for you to be able to put out everybody else's dirty.
Smelling good. Yeah.
Just be like, look, I've already put it out there. You already seen it. You see my poo strain drawers. Like, you already seen all this. So yeah.
I do that cocktail at her house with my children and my child and my girl in there. Like,
well, she actually said in the interview, it won't him. He not man enough to do that, but I'm sure he paid somebody to do it. Like, what? Yeah. She said he won't man enough. That's what I'm saying. It's like,
it wasn't man enough for me.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So.
I'm seeing a lot of the New Edition concert with Tony. Okay. So that was the first thing that came to mind. So, okay. So
you said you had an RIP?
Yeah, I have 3 RIPs.
Okay.
So I have rest in peace, Robert Duvall. For anybody who knows him as an actor who passed away this past week. We have a rest in peace for Eric Dane, which some people might know from Grey's Anatomy. He was Mr. McSteamy, Dr. McSteamy, and he passed away from ALS. And then you had the Reverend Dr. I think it was Reverend Doctor, wasn't he? But Jesse Jackson. So
no, I think it's just Reverend.
Reverend Jesse Jackson. I'm surprised he didn't get an honorary doctorate from somewhere. But anyway,
he might have. I know that he something about him, like DC wasn't allowing him to have any kind of memorial or anything up there. So South Carolina.
They weren't lowering any flags or anything like that. Yeah. So
he's from South Carolina, so that's where they're doing all of the stuff at, and then he's going to be buried in Chicago on the 6th.
Yes, and so rest in peace to him. He was the, I think, first Black man to run for president, because you had Shirley Chisholm to run as a female for president. And he kind of paved the way for Barack Obama in some ways, as well as Shirley Chisholm. But he would always be, keep hope alive. And, he had the saying of I am somebody, and just, just a great all around guy. You never heard anything bad or negative about Jesse Jackson that I'm aware of. So
what was his thing? The Rainbow Coalition?
Was that him or was that?
No, that was
that him. Was that, maybe it was. Okay. I didn't know if that was him or if that was Al Sharpton. So but yeah, so on that note, rest in peace to these folks. And so I guess that is it, unless you had anything else, Sestra.
No, I don't have anything else. That was it.
All right. Well, on that note, y'all, we're going to go ahead and end the show. Thank you so much for staying with us a little bit later and hanging out with us. And so we are going to go ahead. Sorry, doing the most. So anyway, thank you for watching. Listening. Have a great night, great day. Take care of yourself. Stay warm. Spring is around the corner. See you. Bye.
Bye.